This conference will now be recorded.
Loud and clear. We are now being recorded. As you can see, I left up my screen before I jumped on. And what I wanted to show is that what you will be seeing as we do these live during college football and NFL Sunday. You saw come across the screen game 120, Kansas City, Cleveland Browns. They blasted Kansas City minus a half in the second half, Kansas City over 17 and a half in the second half. Now, why is that information critical? Because you will be getting a ton of that live as we are doing our chat because I have access to the information coming through couple of bots and a couple of the groups that I work with. And that is the theme that the guys that I work with, my team, is moving as well as other groups. And why is this information so critical? Because even if it doesn't maybe confirm something you're leaning to give you confirmation so then you could bet, more importantly, if you're able to have enough outs set up, you'll be setting yourself up with a ton of scalps, meaning all the stuff that is steam that will be coming across, the line will move. If you could get down on it at that number, within 5 minutes, you'll be able to scalp or middle the other side. And you could just have plus EV middles and scalps throughout the chat for free, more or less. I told you I do that all the time because I know these guys move markets with these plays. So why wouldn't I scalp and middle a part of my capital just to grind? And especially when you're having a tough month like I'm having, getting that little bit of positive income and positive money coming in is always a good thing. And what I do is I just allocate separate capital, and this is strictly for middling and scalping. You guys do nothing else with it. Personally, I don't have time to do it, so I let two other guys that I trust do that for me, and they just take a percentage of the profit that they're able to generate. But these guys, they're running down to the kiosks at the sports books like overnight and jamming them and doing overnight soccer and stuff like that in other countries and getting all kind of amazing scalps through the different sports books down on the strip. It's amazing to watch. If maybe 10 plus years ago, I would have been out there doing that. It's just I don't have the time right now. So it's worth it for me to be able to profit from it by having other guys put in that work that do have that time, that are a little younger, hang out a little bit later, because you're going to hit those kiosks. You're going to have to do them at night when the sports books are closed and you're betting those cross country sports. It's a lot of fun. Anyway, first things first, before we rewind, let me get out of the way some of the things that are coming up because last week we missed some actionable info because I went long. So far, the only thing that's come across my screen is the Kansas City and the over 17 and a half in that second half. Again, that's nothing that I took a piece of as far as agreeing with to bet on top of. I move it. I have a percentage of the accounts. I obviously want these guys to do well. I also know there's a handful of guys joining us on a trial, 3-day basis, week, whatever. We are doing a 3-day coupon code. Let me knock that out of the way. ACE3, ACE3. Use it 3 days. Jump in. I'd save it for the weekend because when the season starts, the weekends that I am able to, I'll do Saturday and Sunday for you guys. Like, I want you to get the most out of this subscription. I know the last month has been rough as far as results go, but I still want, even during those times, for this subscription to provide so much value for you because I know what's going to happen. Like, we're not going to stay cold forever. We're going to heat up. We're going to start turning profit. We're going to have a great month where it looks like, wow, we can't lose if we tried. And then I'm going to have to slow it down and we're going to start coming down. We know how this works. And when the year ends, hopefully we look back. I'm very confident we're going to say, hey, we're one of the few bettors on the planet that had a winning year. And that's why I want to make sure, like for Saturdays or Sundays, I share as much actionable information with you guys and also answer questions and explain things so you are learning and understanding. And the goal for me is not just for you guys to piggyback moves, but to also learn so much more than 99% of bettors, because those bettors, unfortunately, are learning, the majority of them at least, from other losing bettors. Because again, we know how few actually win, and very few of the winners are the ones producing the content. So let me real quick see if there is any pertinent question I have to knock out immediately. Okay. Okay, no, right. That's out of the way. Now, real quickly, today's NFL. Let me get that just so we could. No, you know what? Let's do what matters first. The most important thing. We rewind. Transparency is more important than anything. And it's only 3 p.m. Eastern, 5 after, and 12 o'clock here. So we have almost an hour until those 4 o'clock games go off. 1 o'clock in the afternoon where I'm at. Forgive me, I'm a little delirious. UFC started at 2 a.m. Pacific time. And even though I don't share, like send out picks live, I move different stuff for different guys live, forcing me to be up at those times. But real quickly, let's do the most important thing, because I need to explain this more than anything else. You're going to get picks. I'm going to share all the gold. I have baseball. I have preseason football. I have college football week 0, week 1. I have NFL. I have all that stuff to share you. Great stuff. Good, solid bets. Also going to share with you how I would approach it. But all of that is going to mean nothing if you don't bet size correctly. Nothing I say is going to matter. Nobody's picks, no one's information is going to matter if you don't bet size correctly. And here's why. Because let me check my results. I don't have to look. Like I say, I could tell by my accounts. I bet every single day. So I know just by looking where I'm sitting. And here, let me just show you real quickly. Here's a perfect example of what I mean. Here's what I'm saying, okay? Let me share this with you just so you understand what I mean real quick, okay? Now, you see, I see a negative. What's that, down about 6 dimes? I know I'm down this week. That's more than enough for me. I know that I'm down, and where are we out of here now? Hold on, cancel, right? Am I back? All right, what is this? I don't want to share that, right? Let me get out of here. What am I doing? All right. All right, now we're back. See, I'm not that technically savvy guy. What I was trying to show you is, see, I see from my accounts, I'm down. So I don't check day by day because I'm not promoting any kind of streak. Um, but let's go back and look. We said the last 3 days are nonsense. We're going to look at the last 7 days. I know I'm down with the books. Yep, down 33 units, 42 and 47. So we're 5 games under 500. But with juice, obviously, 33 units. But we bet 0.25. 0.25 of that is down what? Eight positions. Again, nothing to be proud of, but a lot less than if you're betting 3% and 4%. You're able to survive this, and I'm going to explain the math to you in a second. Hear me out. Because in the last 30 days, we've lost 101 units in the last 30 days, okay? Now, again, that is nothing that I am proud of. But what I am proud of is the fact that when I look over this year, first let me cover that first, because it's something that should matter. No one lost more than I have the last 30 days at Wager Talk. In fact, out of 30 cappers on the leaderboard, I'm 30th. I've lost the most amount of money the last 30 days, the most amount of units the last 30 days, not the most amount of money, the most amount of units. Why is this important? Because it's the truth. It's what happens when you bet every single day. Long term, there will be short term sample sizes that look absolutely horrific, just like there are short term sample sizes when I'm running hot that look like I'm a psychic. Both of those are imposters. Neither of those are legit. This shows minus 11% ROI. Okay? Minus 11% ROI. Down 20 games under 500. So we won 148 bets. We lost 167 bets. That's over the last 30 days. So 20 bets below 500. That's 103, 102 units, whatever that is. Okay. Now that sucks, but we bet 0.25. So that's 25 units. And why does this matter? Because when I look over this year, where we sit right now, okay, there's one guy at number one right here, number one in profit right here. And I'm right near 200 units still, right near 200 units. The worst 30 days, the absolute worst capper. But when the dust settles, I'm number one in profit from January 1st to yesterday. Here's what matters more than anything else. Those bettors that followed what I said since January 1st, sure, it sucks because they had to give a lot back. But here's where they're at right now. If they started with $10,000, we're betting 0.25, 0.50, 0.75, 1%, 1.25, based on a 1% rating, 2% rating, 3% rating, 4% rating, 5% rating. Okay? So that means with a $10,000 bankroll, we're betting $25 on 1%, $50 on 2%, $75 on 3%, $100 on 4%, $125 on 5%. Never bet more than $125, even though we got a $10,000 bankroll. So where do we sit with 197 units times $25 a unit? Still up 49.25 on 10,000. So still up 49% minus what it costs you. Let's say that $900, because if you're that sharp, you're paying ahead for the year. So you're still up 40% on your starting capital. And we're just about done 8 months. We have 4 months left, and we've already 40% increased our capital. And the benchmark S&P 500, like we say, averages about 8% a year, long term. Again, if you have an investment that could guarantee me 10% a year, please bring it to me. I invest my capital. I know very few guarantee investments that are going to give me 10%. Again, what I'm offering isn't guaranteed either, but the risk reward is a little better than 10%, because as you can see, it's at 40%, and I'm coming off the worst possible run. The ugliest imposter just jumped into my year. And I understand I've done this long enough to realize that as long as I bet size correctly, this will pass. I will keep winning. And when the dust settles at the end of the year, I'll see what I made on my capital. I'll re-up again and rinse and repeat. And that's how I got from betting $100 to $500 to now betting $1,000 to $5,000. Just like that. No other way. This is how I did it. And here's what's most important. Let's say you signed up at the absolute worst time. You say, you know what? Sorry, Ace. I missed January. I missed February. I missed March, April, June, May, July. I missed them all. I was chasing big plays. I was chasing down the hot hand. And then I said, you know what? I'm going to start doing it right. And I signed up with you 30 days ago, bro. 30 days ago, I signed up and I'm getting killed. Here's my reply, sir. You don't have to change a thing because if you followed my recommended bet size, let's do the math. You start with a $10,000 bankroll. We're still betting that same 0.25, 0.50, 0.75, 1%, 1.25. So still that same 25, 50, 75, 100, 125. You have that same $10,000 bankroll. Ace lost 100 units this last 30 days. What's 100 units times $25 a unit? 2,500. So out of that 10,000 bank, you're down 2,500. That's 25%. I've held stock that's gone 25% down. I'm not dumping it if I know it's a solid company because it dipped 25%. I know that's variance, that's fluctuation. There's things that happened in the markets beyond our control. But because I manage risk correctly, get down 25%. Remember, you don't have to revisit it until you're up 50 or down 50. And personally, I wouldn't even revisit it up 50. I'd wait till the end of the year and do it again. But you don't have to revisit until you're down 50. We're not there yet. And you just had the worst month, the worst possible 30 days. This is why this is the most important time for this subscription. This is where, again, we find out if you truly are built for this. And I'm not calling anyone else. I'm just being honest because this is going to happen again. That's what I could promise you. Just like December 31st, I'm going to be one of the few cappers on the planet that says this is what my guys won the last 365 days. And next year, I'm going to look to win again. In fact, all I'm doing is acquiring stronger and stronger sources when bad times like this are happening. I'm out there hunting down ways to increase my ROI and limit our risk. That's why we're firing 3% plays. That's why you're seeing some obscure markets because we need to win right now. So, like I was saying, what matters most is that this will happen again in 2024 when I beat 2024, when I win again, when I'm top 3 in profit. There will be a 30 days that if you don't bet size correctly, it will wipe you out. You will call me a scammer. And then 8 months later, I'll be saying the same thing. Look, I won again. And you'll be pissed off at me. And again, if I could control your bankroll, if you were able to put that money in a fund and I was just managing it, you'd peek in and you'd see your 10 dimes down 25%. Sure, that sucks. Sure, you wouldn't be happy, but it's like a stock, a crypto, an investment. You're going to have fluctuation or don't invest. Put your money in a CD, lock it in at 3, 4, 5%, and sleep comfortably. Zero risk. Take that 5%, take that 5,000, that 10,000, excuse me, you'll make 500 bucks guaranteed after 12 months. Lock it into a nice 5% T-bill or a nice 5% CD. Rates are up. They're only going to get even higher. You may even get 6%, 7% in the next 6 months. So lock up that 10,000 at 7%, and December 31st, you're going to have made $700. With me, you're up 4,000 so far. With the T-bill, you're not up yet that 700, but you're more than halfway there. So you probably picked up 350. That's awesome. We've 10x'd it. I've 10x'd the T-bill. That's the return. But that's after the worst possible 30 days you can have as a sports bettor. Listen, the only thing that I can say, I don't make excuses, is that I go over my work, and as long as I know that I'm placing good bets, I could sleep comfortable with the results. And here's what I mean. Real quickly, perfect example. Someone actually sent this DM, and I hope it's someone that's part of this chat and a long-term subscriber, so I'm able to answer this question because I don't have time to answer DMs. But I was actually looking for a phone number and had seen this pop up from someone had sent a DM a while back. Anyway, make a long story short, here's what the guy said. he broke down great reasoning on why he didn't like Kinoshita, the bet that I sent out for UFC, and explained the X's and O's of why it wasn't a good matchup, and he couldn't understand why I would place that bet. And his striking is more rudimentary. His striking is more labored, like he doesn't throw a lot of volume. So he broke it down very nice, great analysis. Here's the difference, and please don't take this the wrong way. My job isn't to predict the winner. Like, if you can do that, make money sports, have at it. Please do it. And I swear to God, I'll buy your stuff. Like, if you're the one guy that can do that, I hope so. I really do. I just don't. I've been doing this long, and I still haven't met that guy, that person that just approaches it like an analyst, picking the winner and beats the market. And here's what I mean by that. Because Kinoshita was the bet. Here's why. I sent it out at minus 128 at 3%. In fact, last night I added 1% to it at 135. Why? Because I was very confident as all the information filters into the closing number and all the sharp bettors influence the betting market and the money influences the market, that the close is going to be a lot worse than the ticket I have in my pocket. And that's exactly what happened. Kinoshita closed minus 150. That's about 4% higher in implied win probability than our minus 128. Do you have any idea the edge on that? It's huge. I'll take that every day. I'll lay 128 and you give me 150 all day long. I'll beat you. I'm not going to beat you every flip, but that's the equivalent of giving me $1.25 and I only have to give you $1 and we flip a coin. Every time it's heads, I give you $1.25. Every time it's tails, you give me $1. Dude, we flip it once or twice. Sure, I might be up. We flip it 1,000 times. You're walking away with my money, and there's nothing I could do about it because you're getting the best of it. My job is to find spots where we get down our money at the best of it. That's all I'm looking for. And so I could explain that. Here's the amount of college football bets today. That's just this morning, today, that I placed. I think we're on 3 sides. And one of them was Ohio at plus 3.5, which is now down to 2. That's what I'm looking to do. I'm looking to place good bets, trusting that as long as I do that over and over, the laws of math reflect and support that I'm a mathematical certainty to turn a profit if and only if I manage risk correctly. And since we manage risk correctly, just sit back and place good bets. Again, if you can't separate yourself from being a fan and an analyst to being a trader, you're going to have problems turning a profit trading in the betting market because that's what you're doing. You're trading. You're making trades. There's someone on this side of the trade, someone on that side of the trade. And unfortunately for us, we have to pay admission to place a trade. It's not even like TD Ameritrade where I get to trade for free on most things. I buy most things for free. If it ain't options, this, that, they have some fees, whatever, margin fees. But for the most part, you trade for free, right? That's not the case when I place a bet. Every bet I place, I have to lay 11 to win 10. And if it's the money line, I have to lay 150, and it's plus 130 on the dog, so it's the same thing. I'm still laying 11 to win 10. It's just written in a different language. It's kind of like when people are like, oh, the NFL is different. It's a point spread sport. What are you talking about? The point spread's just a different language of the money line. Every point spread equates to a money line. That's the point. They're just different languages. But it's they're both saying the same thing. Like I speak Greek, you speak English. If we point to a car and we're going to say car in different words, different way, but it's still a car. And that's the same thing. -7 and -275 are the same exact thing. There's no 250, whatever it is. I'm just off the top of my head. I'm not looking at my chart exactly what -7 is. But what I'm saying is there's a money line that is the exact reflection of equals -7. Again, I'm trying to get you into the mindset of thinking like a trader, of thinking like a sports bettor. There's nothing wrong with enjoying the job and being a fan of the job and loving what you do and then being able to watch your work. That's awesome. Take the evening, enjoy the games, watch the product. That's fine. I'm not telling you to not do that. But the job is to place good bets. Spend a few hours doing the job, and then the rest of the day do whatever. But you got to place good trades. And that's all I'm trying to have us do, whether it's baseball, soccer, tennis, whatever sports I'm lucky to have information on. So, real quickly, let's go over that one more time. I'm right at almost 200 units, okay? At $25 per unit, a $10,000 bankroll, never bet more than $125, is up close to 5,000. That's the math. That's the facts. Now, again, I'm sure if you go on our site, a bunch of sites, there's a lot of guys talking hot streaks. There's a lot of guys promoting their great runs, their great streaks. But I'm asking you, are you doing this to win this week? Are you doing this to win over and over and over, year after year? Are you using this as a gamble? I'm taking a shot to roll the dice and win tonight, this weekend? Or am I using this as an investment vehicle where I'm going to continue to turn a profit, invest my capital, flip it, turn it into more, flip it, turn it into more, invest into other things? Am I going to treat it like a business so it pays me like a business? Or am I going to have fun with it and treat it like entertainment and be comfortable with the fact that entertainment costs money? Dude, that's it. I want to go to the movies. It's going to cost me money. I like to go eat dinner out, nice, beautiful, best dinners. That's expensive. That's going to cost me money. So if you want to gamble for entertainment, have at it. It's going to cost you money. The good part of it is there's a chance you win too. Like you may win that 17 parlay one day. You may hit the big score. You'll have winning weekends. That's the beauty of it. Where, with the entertainment, you'll have a memory. I guess that's great. You know what I mean? But for us gamblers, that's not really much. We want the cash. We want to feel it. With the memory, what good's that? Anyway, I'm kidding. But I'm being honest now. This is me just being so truthful with you guys because this is the time where it matters most. Dude, I'm getting crushed the last 30 days. That's just the truth. And my number one goal for myself is to make sure I don't get emotional, that I don't make any rash emotional decisions that are going to cost me more than they should. And I'm sure some of you have made mistakes over the last 30 days that cost you more than they should and put you down more than you should. That's okay. That's understandable. I do it. Everyone does it. The most seasoned winning sports bettors do it. The difference is it's very rare they do it. And the goal becomes correct, not repeat. If you're continuing making the same error, then again, you have to check yourself and realize unless you fix that whatever's missing, it's never going to change. The result's going to be the same until that gets fixed. And I swear I want good for you guys. I say, even if it's just one or two of us in here, at least I know it's the two guys that are doing it right. I don't want to cost anyone money, dude. I don't want anyone to lose any fucking money. And I know if you started within the last 30 days, you're down money. I understand that. But if you followed my recommended bet sizing, there's no reason to change anything. In fact, we're just going to we got still 4 months ahead, what I think will be the best 4 months. And then you assess where you're at. And even then, you'll be 5 months in. So you're going to have to understand that it's a long-term process. If you don't have that kind of patience, it's just, you're not just, it's okay. Like there was a time I didn't have that patience. And I lost bankroll after bankroll after bankroll with winning information. I'm trying to share with you ways so that doesn't happen, and experiences from my past, the mistakes I did, so you don't make them. Because that's what I'm giving you, dude. No one's hustling you. This is sharp winning shit. If it isn't, I don't give it to you. The reason I didn't give you the Navy game is because I could tell you with certainty there's two-sided action. There's under 50 and a half and over 49 and a half. And there's winning bettors on both sides. I could share a lot of information with you guys. Like, but the key is turning a profit with it. And if you're not managing risk correctly, I'm not going to be able to help you. So that all I can say is it sucks. It sucks to lose. I hate losing money. I've lost a lot the last 30 days, almost 40 days. Again, all I can tell you is when in doubt, I zoom out. And even though I get pissed and emotional and I'm human like everyone else, I trust in the math and I remind myself that I'm up 50% on my capital for this year. That's shit. If the year ended today, I'd be pretty damn happy that I had a 50% year. And then, more importantly, when I zoom out, I see I've won 7 of the last 8. All I have to do is the same thing over and over again. So please understand, this isn't an infomercial. This wasn't me touting. This was me being real with you that if you can't get past this last 30 days, you're not going to make money with me long term because it's going to happen again. And anyone out there that you follow that tells you different is lying to you. And I will debate them any day of the week. They are lying to you if they tell you you're not going to have to go through that. And I'm not calling anyone out. But again, please look around. Look at all the promotion. And I ask you, where are they for the year? Where are they for the last 2, 3, 4, 5 years? People have been selling picks for more than the last month, more than the last week, more than just this season. Where are those results? Or am I just supposed to believe that you found the Holy Grail today? That we're going to forget the last history and from now on, I'm going to win with you. Is that what you're selling me? Because if it is, tell me that then. Be honest with me. Admit to me you've been a losing bettor until this hot streak. And from now on, you're going to win like this. They can't. No one will tell you that because that's bullshit. Anyone that's done this for more than 6 days knows that. Again, guys, I say it at it because I care. Like I've been in this industry a long time. I've been in this business a long time. Sports betting. It's given me a lot. And the best way I can give back is by being truthful with the bettors, the real people, not the nonsense on radio and acting like I know shit and doing freaking videos to break down games and act like I'm a specialist and I'm an analyst and I'm smart. And look how all these radio stations and all this, everyone wants my opinion because I'm so smart. No, fuck that. I want to help you, the bettors, the guys that these casinos are raking in all that money from, because it's just all, like I said, 99% of the content is bullshit. So take a step back, just be reasonable. And most of you guys are more than sharp enough to read between the lines. Let me see. I'm looking quickly. Did anything else come in? No. See, the last thing was that. Give me 1 second. Hold on, guys. I have to check one thing. I think we're going to have a live play, then we'll move on. But I need to know that you get what I'm talking about as far as bankroll management and how, unless you bet size correctly, it's so hard. It's almost impossible to win. And I want to see you guys win, man. again, I wouldn't have done this. I was just fine selling packages. And when I'm hot, putting out big plays like everyone else, I did it actually big plays when I had a big play. But um, the truth is, hype up packages, push your hot streaks, promote whether you're up for this week, this month, this year, this season, this percentage of play. Do all that stuff that sells. I got the brand. No, it ain't happening. This is what I want to do. I want to do it for real. I want to work with people that want to actually like, because I feel so bad for so many people that had intentions of doing it for real and just fell into the trap of touts that sold the good image, sold the facade, sold the great wording, awesome hot streaks, but it never answered the big question. And the big question's easy. It's a very easy question. What are you up this year? What are you up the last 3 years? What are you up the last 5 years? And how have you done in your career? You should know those answers. Um, so again, guys, all I can do is come in here and be accountable and face you when I lose and be honest. Again, this isn't comfortable. I don't like to lose. I hate to lose. It's easier for me to just put out packages, do videos, don't acknowledge my losses, promote I'm number one on the fucking site. New bettors keep coming. Wager Talk's great at content and bringing in new bettors and traffic, and just have me continue to push. I don't want to do that, man. I want to do something like this, like where we're actually having uh, a group of people where the goal's the same, where the goal isn't I make money selling you the pick. And if I have a good week for you that week, you're happy. If you're not, you're pissed at me. But there's a chance you're going to come back the next time I'm hot anyway. You'll get over it. Like, I don't want that. So anyway, enough of that stuff because we have a lot of shit to get to. More importantly, we have a lot of information to get to. So let me look because I see a bunch of possible questions here. All right, all right. I gave a play that was under 59 and a half. One book had under 60. What was the plus EV bet? I took the under 59 and a half, 59 and a half at 110 or 60 at 113. Yeah, you did the right thing with the 59 and a half. I could even tell you, I would just off the top of my head, I would think that. I could tell you with certainty, actually, in a second if you want. Let's do that just so you know. College football was a total. You did the right thing. You did the right thing. And even funnier, it wouldn't have really made a difference. It's not even a coin flip. So that book is pretty sharp. That's all that means is that they had a, like, they knew what the point, they obviously they know, but they priced it exactly at what the point was worth. So 60, under 60 minus 113 is the same as under 59 at, what's it called? 110. Ain't that crazy? Pinnacle does that a lot. If you have a Pinnacle skin, you'll see that a lot where they, hold on, sorry, I gave these out already, but I just saw another plus 105 on the under in the Tampa Bay. And actually, I could go under 121 at 7.5 on my Pinnacle skin, which is definitely worth it because it should be about 124, I believe, if you compare even money. So, yeah, if anyone's got a penny skin, I would bet it there. Let me get through these questions again so we could go over a lot of the game info. Okay, yes. The question is, can you please explain when you buy a half a point, does that mean it's okay to bet the Jags might or try to buy the point, or does it mean only bet Jags after buying the half point? No, 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 no. If I add in it what like what I if I put like Jags -6 or -6.5, -110, 3%, Jags -6.5 for 3%. And then after it, I write, if you could buy it down to, if you could get it at -6 at -112 or better, that simply means if you got access to that number, take it. That's a better bet than what I'm telling you to get down at. So what I'm giving it out at is plus EV. If you could do better, this is what you should be looking for. That's why now with football, I'm going to try to do that wherever I see where lines of books are different and where it matters. So you know to check, what's the half point going to cost me here? Oh, wait, it's only costing me 120. Ace said I could lay up the 124 and it's a better number. So I'll lay the 120 and I have a better bet even than the Ace does for subscribers. That's why, again, I hope your results are even better than mine. And the reason I share that kind of information is because those are the bets that I'm placing a lot of the times myself. So I'm seeing this is what I'm doing for myself, but I know that not everyone has access to that. So to be fair, that's why I put it out at -6.5, -110, even though I could obviously get -6, -113. That's why I'm urging you to do it as well. But knowing that not all my subscribers have access, or probably not even the majority have access to multiple outs and some discounted half point buys, I'm going to grade as fairly as possible. Again, even if I got down at a better number, and more importantly, I want you to get down at a better number. That's why I do add in there, take it at this if you can. Let's look at today real quickly, my card to give you an example. Because this is very important. You need to be looking for this when I add any kind of information. Yeah, New Mexico State at -7, okay? What did they, let me look right now. Where's New Mexico State at? What's the line on New Mexico State? Okay, right now, the line on New Mexico State's -7. Perfect example. So I'm going to grade that at -7, okay? But if you're able to buy a half point, this is what I says after the 3%. It says buy half point to 6.5 at -122 or less. That means when you go to bet New Mexico State, if your guy has -7, click buy half point. If it's -122 or less, my advice is to buy it. And that means you now got a better bet than -7, -110 that I have. You have an even better bet. More times than not, it's because I got down at that number myself. So I know it's available, and that's why I'm sharing that information. So when you see that, I urge you to look for yourself. Real quickly, let me share a boxing bet that I don't want to forget. The only reason I didn't give it out is it wasn't in the Wager Talk back end. Now, a lot of times I'll just text Gianni and say, hey, can you guys create the play and send this to subscribers? Because it's not programmed in the back end. But what happened was when I checked into all the books that I have access to, some of the skins didn't have this fight. So I said, I can't make it a premium since some guys may not be able to get down. So let me give you that. We bet the Usyk fight over 7.5 -130. I'd lay up to -150 actually at over 7.5 on the Usyk. That hit the bot. Let me see what it is now. That'd be interesting to see what Usyk sits now. Because when they get the, yeah, wow. Penny's at 7.5 over -148. Well, bet online's at 8.5. Yeah, once they go into the bot, that means they're going to hit even on-screen shops and shit like that. Forget about it. The second bet, though, is Jalolov, Jalolov. That's the fighter's name. Jalolov. Um, I will show you. He is fighting. Shit, I'm gonna have to. All right, the best way to explain this is I'll just show you my screen. Fuck it. We're all family. You ready? All right. You see that fight right here? Right here. In Tulsa, Oklahoma. We bet under 2.5. Actually bet it again at minus 190. Um, yeah, look, there's those futures. Yeah, well, I had to give this guy some action too. I'd take the Bills actually all the way down to plus 725 or better. Plus 7 or better. I think you're placing a good bet. The reason I gave it out at 9 is because there's a ton of nines out there. A ton of nines. I want you to shop for the best. I'll again remind me, email Johnny, tell him to grade it at 7. I don't care. I want you to get the best number. But the MGM, Caesar, they were all at freaking 9-1, 9-1. Even Westgate was 9-1, and then they saw some 8-1s. So you should be able to get 8-1. Let's do. We'll tell Johnny do 8-1 instead of 9-1. But I really wanted you guys to not be lazy and hunt. Just like you see, I got better on the Saints. You should than just the 40-1. Better than on the Rams. What did we give the Rams at? 80-1, was it, or 90-1? I got better on Tampa in those. Again, these are all small little bets. They don't take much action, but you'll see this guy takes a little more bombs. You'll see here. This guy takes a little bigger bombs action here. Not everyone takes the same amount of action, so you got to split it up between. That's just me having fun with you guys. Um, let's get off this real quick and get back to business. We got a lot of business to handle. All right, we're back in, and let me answer some more questions, and then I got to share a bunch of shit with you, a bunch of sports. Hold on. Okay, the half point. Yeah, 25% is a nasty downswing. It is. It's a bull. Actually, it quantifies as a bear market, down 20%. I've lived through worse, a lot worse. Again, not bragging. This is not a brag, but I've lived through a lot worse bear markets, and that's why I've survived. They're tough. They're tough. Bull markets are a lot of fun. Bull markets are a lot of fun. Went up, 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 up to the moon, one way only. But as we know, nothing goes straight up. Absolutely nothing goes straight up. Um, and you just got to handle it as best you can and trust in your work and trust in the math. Personally, I know I've got a big enough sample size of bets. Like I haven't been doing this in small sample sizes. We have thousands of bets. I get 3,000 bets a year. 2,000 is statistical significance. Over 8 years, 7, 8 years, we probably have over 10,000 worth of bets. So I find comfort in that sample size, knowing you win over a sample size like that. Just keep repeating that. Just keep doing the same thing. But yes, I want to the guys that bought at the worst possible time, 20%. Good. Wow, he's done well. So see, this is good. Again, I want to see this. This gentleman sucks being down. He's down 20% on his bankroll following. I love that you're only down 20. I really do. It shows you're doing the right thing. Please, please, please follow through. It will pay off, dude. You'll see when we have very fucking good stuff. Like if it's sharp, we got it. And more importantly, I'm not sending it out unless I know with certainty, like it's still good. That's why I'm not sending, like, I could have sent out a bunch of shit already today with the Browns, the Bills, the over in them, but the numbers weren't good. We would have been gambling. The over 38 was the play, not over 41. Sure, it went over 41. That's great. But if you keep betting over 41 when it should be 39 and a half or 40, you're going to lose money long term doing that. So that's why, please just continue that. But what this guy did is he's been crushing MMA on his own. And I love that. So obviously, he's specializing in a particular sport that he trusts his opinion over my own. Great. If you have that confidence, and good for you. In fact, if you have a sample size to support it, that's what you should be doing. I don't have an ego. I want you to be better than me. I want you to make more money than me. I'm comfortable with that. In fact, dude, keep showing me your results. And if you have a big enough sample size, we can work together, bro. Like, that's how I have worked with a lot of the groups I work with. I want to see guys. There's so few guys that win. If you're doing it, good. So my man Sherlock here, fortunately, on his own, has won 11 of 12 UFC events. So that's got him still where his bankroll. He lost 20% following my stuff, but fortunately, he's right about it even because his own stuff's been winning. Bro, good. I couldn't be happier for you. Seriously, keep betting your own stuff. No one's telling you not to. Trust me, even if you follow, even if you don't want to, like, document the next few months. I'm very confident you will see very good results. Like, this has been the worst 30 days as far as not even going to say bad luck, but I mean, we've lost every coin flip. Any half point like went against us on a half a run, like the last inning would go. It's just when you're losing, none of that, all that stuff is obviously compounded, but it's almost like it gets worse. Kind of like when you're winning, you can't lose. That half point always helps you out. That fumble's always in your favor. That missed extra point gets you the under. Like, those things happen in your favor. And that's why I say both are imposters, because both are defined probability. And we're somewhere in the middle. That's why I say you're never as bad as you look or as good as you look. You're usually somewhere right in the middle. Us, you know where our middle is. It's close to that 5% ROI long term over the big sample size. Um, oh, great question. With all the different sports, what made me zero in on MMA? I love it. It the volatility in the betting lines. I saw, because I was a runner, and even though I didn't have bankroll management, I wasn't an idiot. Like, I watched sharp guys make money every single day. I was standing in the middle of the Stardust, which was the capital of the world for sport. Like, they brought out the opening nine for the planet for a very long time. The Stardust on the Las Vegas Strip. Everyone else copied their line. And that was my home base. So I saw how the sharpest guys, what they did to win. Make a long story short, when I saw the volatility in MMA, the line moves, I knew immediately this sport is more beatable, because line moves is the fluctuation is what makes it beatable. Without volatility, you're not beating the sport. That's the key. If the book's not moving the line, then they're pretty confident that number is right on the money. That either, if 50% team A wins at this number, 50% team B wins at this number, and lane 11 to win 10, you do not have an edge on this spread. That's the goal of the book. Now, the reason they move the line and there's fluctuation is because they're trying to get to that point while managing risk along the way. Sharp action, square action. Well, I saw in MMA that the line moves were so significant, the small limit bets that it took to manipulate that market that it became obvious to me my edges were going to be so much greater, especially in a market that's going to be, and please no disrespect to mixed martial art um, fan base, they're amazing, but I knew a lot of them didn't have sports betting experience. Like there's a lot of MMA bettors that don't bet any other sport. They just bet MMA. Like they don't bet other sports. So I knew they didn't have market experience. And I get it. Every sport is different, but we can't also forget that it's the same guys behind the counter creating the numbers. Like if you go to a sports book, a circa, sure, one guy may be more the MMA guy or whatever, but they're covering all the sports. It's the same group bringing out the same numbers, managing the risk. And that's why I say once you could have an approach, a system that wins, you should be able to replicate it anywhere. And again, that's what stuck out to me, and that's why I dove right into MMA. And because of the success I had, again, this is a small city. Like now, it's a lot bigger. A lot of people don't win, man. I know social media makes a lot of people think differently, and people take great pictures. I get it, but very few people are winning sports bettors in this city. Like some of the biggest personalities and names in sports betting are down money betting sports. That's just fact. Um, and it is what it is. But for me, it was like, again, MMA offered that opportunity to where I saw it was such a beatable market. Then I had success with it. And that's how everything then snowballed, where it was like, oh, the gaming today. And then from that went to the UFC. Because again, it's a small fraternity. People could bash all they want, talk all this shit they want. And again, you could say what at the end of the day, though, numbers don't lie. And there's 8 years of results. You could pick apart any week, any month, any year, even. But over the entirety, what are you gonna do, dude? The truth is the truth. And again, with MMA, I just was crushing so much. You couldn't tell it by this last couple weeks, but it was especially early on, dude. It was like stealing. My God, you could have just scalped and made a fortune. You didn't have to pick sides back then. No, I understand. Brian, I understand. Listen, not, you see 95% of the bets I place are with credit accounts. That's why I actually give commission to my agents. And they don't even, some are like, dude, Ace, I don't want your money. Like when you win, because I get a cut when you lose. Like I tell all of them, make sure you work out a deal with the book. So when I lose, you get a percentage because I'm going to lose. Like, and sometimes there's some accounts where you just can't beat. Like even though you have a winning year with that guy, you're just losing. It's kind of like with card counting. Yeah, I'm a winning blackjack bet player, but I'm not up at every property, especially when they kick you out. Like, you know what I mean? You haven't had long enough time to be there. So at the time you were allowed to play, you're down. And it's like that with sports betting too. And especially because I do a lot of scalping, a lot of middling, there'll be times that have both sides. So it doesn't even matter. One's going to win, one's going to lose. So I want you to get a percentage of the losses, but also on the flip side, I give them a percentage of my wins for that reason, because I value my credit guys so much, because I'm able to then not use my capital and put it elsewhere and make money. So like right now, where this last month gotten crushed in sports, fortunately, there's other things in my life that are still doing well, with trading every day, the day trading and the stocks and shit like that, art. Um, so I get it, dude. You don't want to tie up money offshore, especially sitting in a non-interest bearing account. I completely understand it. If you get yourself some credit accounts eventually that you trust, because they're no good if they don't pay, or if you have discipline, because with credit accounts, you can get yourself in trouble. Just like your credit card. If you're betting money you don't have on credit, just like you buying shit you don't have on credit, you can get in trouble. I do it on credit because I'm not going to bet more than I know I could lose, I could afford. So it's okay with me. It's just a better way to not tie up my money. Thank you, Big E. Honestly, I just want to be real with my group because I respect you guys, and the fact that you trust me, um, it means so much. And again, I wouldn't have taken this on if I wasn't confident we could get to the finish line, rinse and repeat over and over again. But this was my biggest fear, and I talked to Gianni about this when we were running hot. And he jokes now that I jinxed it, but I said, dude, the test is going to be when the shit run comes. You know that. Like everything's easy now. And I hope these guys are doing it right. But you know the test is going to be this will be real when we lose. This will be real when we get crushed. Not when we have a losing week. This will be real when you have to go through shit to get through the other side. Are they going to jump off and look for that hot streak? Are they going to overbet and chase and fuck themselves up and not be properly funded to profit with me as we go forward? Like, I don't want those things to happen. So I'm going to do everything I can in my power through these chats to not miss a single day. And more importantly, even if I cost myself subscribers and listeners, it's still, I'm willing to do that to make sure I nail home how important the bankroll management part is. Again, even at the cost of people saying he keeps saying the same shit over and over again. I get it. 0.25, 0.50, 0.75, 1%, 1.25. I get it. Shut the fuck up. They start winning and the percentages won't fucking matter. That's not the truth, though. We both know that. The percentages mean everything. Bet sizing is everything. So trust me, I'll do my job. I'll do my job. Handle your job. Trust me to do mine. I'll handle it for you. I promise you. As long as you can do your job, I'll handle mine. I know right now, the last 30 days, I haven't done a great job of it. But with that said, I think over the last 8 months, done pretty good. Done pretty good. What is half a run worth in MLB? 2 games in MLB today. I paid 10 cents from your posted play. It depends on the number. Like there's some numbers that are more key than other. That's what you have to remember. That's why in football they charge different as well. Like they'll charge you 10 cents to go from 8 to 8.5, but they'll charge you 30 to go from 3 to 3.5 because they know they should only be charging you 25 over here for the 3 and should only be charging you 5 cents, not 10 for this half. So they're usually 9 times out of 10 going to overcharge you. Actually, almost 10 out of 10 they're going to overcharge you. But there are those times you at least get a fair buy, and that's why I like to share when it is. So I would have to know what the number was. Oh, and the boxing play, I bet it is a 3% play. I didn't like, actually, I'll tell you, if I was going to release it, I would have released it as a 2% because it's chalky. And the USIC fight is double as strong. But because we're staying disciplined with bet sizes and I'm not firing 4% and 5% until it's warranted, and not just warranted, but I see that the market is being good to us. What's supposed to happen is happening. The beating the close is resulting in winning bets. Once that all, because again, the market could remain irrational longer than we could stay rational. That you have to know going in. So I try to keep reminding myself, I know it's coming, but I can't time it. You can't time the run. You could never time it. I don't ask the market to trade on your time frame. It's going to disappoint you. It's going to disappoint you and it's going to break you. That's the number one mistake that most investors make. Like, I need it. I need this stock. Just go up $2 this week, just so I could pay my margin. The market's never, sometimes you get lucky, but more times than not, it's not going to trade on your time frame, unfortunately. Let me see anything else come in. No, wow, they were just firing early. I got a lot of plays to get to, so let me go through real quick. Final questions. Thank you for your confidence, guys. Thank you for your confidence. And honestly, like, again, this is what the beauty of having this, that I do have to be accountable to you, that I do have to face you, that you are able to call me out. and I appreciate all the support, and I love the trust and the optimism. But no, I know this sucks. Like I know how this feels, and I know how you question yourself. Like, fuck, did I do the right thing? Is this all just bullshit? Like, not just him, just all the sports betting shit. Like, am I even wasting my time? Like, should I just fucking do it for fun and go back to wasting $50 a week and having fun with it? And fuck it. Do I really want to invest this kind of capital? Do all those doubts should be creeping in your head. That's what makes you sharp. That's what makes you smart. Like if you didn't have those doubts and those fears, I hate to put it this way, but then you're an idiot. Like there's a problem. You should have the emotions are natural. You should have them. The key is, can you control them? And more importantly, can you be reasonable with yourself? Like not biased and actually be reasonable. Because emotion is going to just make you mad or happy, angry, or those are extremes. Reasonable is, okay, yes, this month sucked. Yes, I lost this much money. Okay, I did 500 of it was more my fault. If you could admit that, that's fine. If I overbet, that's fine. But the reasonable also is, okay, how are we doing this year? How about over the last 4 years, last 6 years? Like, actually, if I am doing this for an investment vehicle, what has the past actually been like? Has it been good? And it has, dude. Like, that's just the truth. So, again, I want to feel optimistic and good about the future, but I also understand you should be pissed and you should expect more and you should want results and you're paying for results. You're not paying for picks anymore. Like picks would be me telling you I have a winner on Monday Night Football. That's a pick. You're trying to buy results. I understand that because I'm doing that in other markets. So I get that. And I trying to make sure you get those results. But I need your cooperation. That's the part of this deal that I can't control. Like it's going to take both of us as a team. Because again, it's not a fund where you sent your money in, I manage it, and you get to look at the dips, but you don't physically have to deal with the ups and downs and physically have to deal with losing by a half a point, emotionally looking at a half court shot that beats you on a 5% play. Like that shit is hard to deal with and be successful the next morning and do it the right way. I get it. I get it. That's why these chats are so important. Like these are the things that are going to help me make your investment like well worth it so that you did buy results, not a pick, that you are doing it to actually make money, not gamble. And if you hold up your end, then I have to hold up my end, or else then I'm talking shit. Like I know that part. So in the last 30 days, if you're new, I haven't held up my end. I get it. And I have not. I've disappointed you, and that's just the truth. But if you've been with me since we started this, you got to also take a step back and be a little more reasonable. If you've been with me for the year, again, be a little more reasonable. If you've been with me for longer than that, then you're already doing good. So my goal is for you guys to do well. But Bitcoin happening coming up. Let's get it. I got a feeling, man, the recession is going to make the economy over the next 6 months is going to make that difficult. I believe in BTC in the future of Bitcoin very much, very much. I just I'm not certain it's going to be in my lifetime. Like I do believe the displacement, as far as the not the displacement, more or less the how would you put it? Like a good comparable to gold, especially for these generations that are coming up. Why wouldn't we go digital? It makes sense, right? Everything's going digital. So it makes sense that money should go digital as well. I get that. And even assets, like I understand blockchain, all that. I get it. But I also know that these financial markets have been around a long, long time. and to disrupt them and to completely change them takes a while. And markets have cycles, and cycles take a long time. And I think a lot of crypto investors saw, get rich in the next 2-3 years. And yeah, I wish it does happen, but unfortunately for most people, it's just not going to work out that way unless, they were the ones that got in really, really early. But if you could DCA a little bit and with money you don't care about and put a little aside, I think it will pay you off handsomely long term. But I don't think in these next 6 months or even a year, I'd be very surprised if we're looking at new highs. Like if we're going to break that 69, I'd be very, very surprised. Again, that's just opinion. I'll tell you the difference between opinion and fact. No one knows. That's just my opinion. I could be way off there, way off. All right. Thank you. You're very welcome. You're very welcome, Pix. Yeah, I'll give out Weekly Survivor. Absolutely. I've got no problem with that. How do the art investments work, Pix? Masterworks. Dude, hold on right now. I got you. Watch this shit. Hold on. Boom, boom, boom. Give me 1 second. Boom. There you go. Masterworks. Here's what you do. I'm telling you, my return on investment has been amazing. You just have to be selective and, more importantly, be very limited with the offerings and instead buy in the secondary market. They have a secondary market. See, the way Masterworks works is this. They take a painting and they break it up into $20 shares. So if it's again, I've been up since 2, so I can't do this math in my head. So if it's $1 million painting, there'll be 50,000 shares at $20 each. So you could buy as many shares as you want, but you can't cash out until Masterworks sells that painting. Now, they've held paintings anywhere from 2 months to 3-4 years with an average of, double-digit return on investment. So it's been worth it if they're holding it 3-4 years. With that said, here's what happens. They have a secondary market. So let's say I bought 100 shares of that $1 million painting for $20 a share. Okay. Now, a year from now, it's up 10%. The painting's up 10%. So now they're worth $22 a share, each of them. Well, things happen in people's lives. Conditions change for whatever reason. Sometimes people want to sell their shares now. So what happens in this secondary market, they're selling their shares 20, 30, 40% discounted to what it's already worth because they just don't want to wait. They may have to wait another year, another 2 years. So if you have patience and time, dude, you make double-digit ROI. Easy, easy, easy. I wish I had put more capital in there, to be honest with you. It's just I'm doing so many different things, and like with stock trading, you have to have that capital. With day trading, even though you get 4-to-1 margin, you still need all that capital. So that has stopped me from investing in as much at Masterworks as I wish. Because again, this is me just like hyping up this company or anything. I'm just telling you my experience, and more importantly, that secondary market. I showed it here. I think the first or second we went to that secondary market, and I just pull up right now 20 freaking paintings that already have a built-in 20-25% return that someone's selling. their shares for. They just don't want to wait another year, another 2 years. But for all they know, it could sell next month. It could sell in 3 weeks. It could sell in 6 months. You don't know when they go to auction, when private dealers want to acquire those paintings. And all you do is stick to the hot ones. You buy a couple small cap ones for, that are higher return, and then a couple of gold. Kusama, Basquiat, Banksy, your gold. They're going to go up, double digit return, and you're set. You're set. Yeah, Scotty. Honestly, the old me would have been broke as well. I would have lost. I don't like the money I lost. Dude, I've lost a new car. Like, you know what I mean? I don't like what I lost in the last like 30 days. It's been ugly. Um, but I know if this happened to me a decade ago, forget about it. I'd have lost everything and been done. Like, scrounged again to build a bankroll to try to. I don't want you to go through that. So you could avoid that by simply realizing edges are small, but we have one. You bet size correctly based on bankroll, and we're golden. While the temptations are there for you to do the wrong thing, that's all that's there. Nothing but temptation to parlay, to tease, to bet more, to nothing but videos of people on private planes and all this money. It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. Um, and that's to get some emotional rise. So you make mistakes, because that's when we make our mistakes, man, when we're emotional. Welcome to the team, Scott. Here's what I can tell you. I'm confident because I'm so prepared as far as the teams I'm working with, college football, NFL, and everything that's coming up. I'm very confident. Right now, I'm losing. My MMA sources are losing. My baseball sources are. It's just that timing. What I can tell you is, as long as you manage risk correctly, you're going to do fine. Like, that's the key. That's the holy grail. The holy grail to get using this to profit is to bet size correctly. Again, if you've been with me since January 1st, you're up 50% on that capital. And I said that last year was the first year in 8 years that the last month of the year crushed me. And we talked about that. But again, the year before that, 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 you were able to say the exact same thing. You made this on your capital. And we're going to do the same thing this December 31st, my man. So bet size correctly. And then when January comes around, analyze our bank rolls, and we go to 24, 24, and we do it again. Why I added to, okay, someone's asking why. I thought I explained the um, Kinoshita fight. Simple. I handicapped that side, that was the side I already had liked. We got down at minus 128. And then when one of the groups that I work with, who I know move the market because they win long term, asked me to bet them at 135, I knew that line and the market is going to close upwards of minus 150, making minus 135 a very good bet. Obviously, not worth a 3% play, but worth an extra percentage added to it, because now we are going to beat the close with minus 128. We're going to beat it even with minus 135 once that second set of information came in. I'm looking to make a bigger score. Now, I can't control the outcome, the result. Like, again, the judges could see it one way, we could see it another. A guy could slip, a guy could get kneed in the balls, a guy could break his ankle. Like, there's so many random things that could happen, just like with any other sport. A flag, a holding penalty, a fumble. Those are things beyond anyone's control. And if they fought 3 hours later, it could be a different result. Just like if they played the game 6 hours later, it could be a whole different final score. I think we all should I don't think there's an argument there that it's not going to go the same way. With that said, the only part I control is, do I place good bets? Because it's like I explained again, the best way I could explain it is, we know the roulette wheel. They pay you 35 to 1 because there's 38 numbers on it, sometimes 39. So as long as they pay you 35 to 1, the house is guaranteed to take your money. Sure, there's people right now that are hitting a number on roulette. It's still not a good bet. But let's say you're walking through the casino and they say, hey, for the next 5 minutes, we are going to give 50 to 1, not 35 to 1, not even 38 to 1. We're going to give 50 to 1 at the roulette wheel for the next 30 minutes, but you can only bet one number at a time per spin. You have to take that bet because it's a great bet. More likely than not, you're not going to hit a number because you're only allowed to bet one number. You're getting 50 to 1 and there's only 38 spots. So it's a great bet, but the chances of you hitting it are still 37 to 1 against you hitting that number. So chances are in 30 minutes, even if they spin it 10, 12 times, you're probably not going to hit a number. And you still placed a bunch of great bets. For me, that's my job. No other job. I do this, I bet, because I know if I place good bets, it produces a profit. If I'm able to beat the market. And I unfortunately, again, I can't control what's going to happen. All I can do is place good bets. Like Ohio right now. If you look at college football, you want to go bet Ohio right now, you could get +2. You go to Circa, you're getting +2. We got +3.5. Dude, Jacksonville, San Diego State could go out there and beat them by 3 touchdowns today. I can't control that. I have zero control of that. What I could control is, did I place a good bet? And if you can't conclude Ohio +3.5 is a great bet, not a good bet, an amazing bet, when a book like Circa and Bet Online is at -2 and 3 is the most key number in all of football. Again, that's all I can do is put us in positions to put us in the best position to profit. And the way you do that is by placing good bets, understanding though, you can do that and still lose. You can do that and still lose. And that's the disconnect that I think most recreational bettors have. And please don't take this as a knock or disrespect. I appreciate the question, and that's the only way we're going to learn. Please, there is no such thing as a bad question, a dumb question, an ignorant. No. You fucking ask me everything and anything. It's the right thing to do. What I'm saying is, I'm going to tell you either my opinion or if it's fact. And in this case, it's a fact that I placed that bet because I knew it would be a good bet when I placed it even at 135. And the fact it closed -150 supports that. Kind of like Ohio. Again, neither of us know how that Ohio game is going to turn out. But I would rather be sitting with Ohio +3.5 in my pocket right now. At least before the game, you're in the best position to profit. Hold on. I think we may have a college football bet. Hold on. Here's a perfect example. Notre Dame. What do you do here? Let me give you the college football real fast. You ready? Are you want to get college football first or NFL? Let's knock the NFL out of the way first because there's only a couple games. All right. Let's knock the NFL because this is all that's left. What did we bet so far in NFL? We're very limited today, right? The only thing we bet is the over, a first half over, right? Yeah, and good for us. Here's why. Okay, there Cardinals early in the morning. Cardinals Vikings. There was two-way action. Over 36, under 39.5. Next, Cleveland Browns. That was a Raz play at -2. Obviously, you saw where it closed at -5. The over again, he hit the over 38 on the Chiefs Browns. And then what else was early? Oh, the Bills in the first half. None of those, all those lines had just moved so quickly and so significantly. There's no reason to place the bets because they wouldn't have been good bets anymore. Here's what's left at night. Bengals Commanders, I moved under 36 for one group at under 36. That's why you're now looking at 35s on the screen. Then we have Jags and Dolphins. Here's another game where some two-way action. You have the Jags at -6, and then you also saw some sharp money come in and take it at 7. Very rarely will you see like a Raz lay -6.5 and it still be at 6.5 or 6 and it not get to a key number of 7, excuse me. But in this case, because there was, again, another winning group on Miami +7. I'm not going to roll the dice because in that game, on that side, I had no opinion on either. Like I told you how I do it. I handicap the games. I have 5 factors for the sports that I work, and I already circle my stuff and I wait for shit to come in. And the one thing I did have circled was the over in the Dolphins Jaguars. And then when it came in, it just confirmed it for me. The only thing I wish was that I broke it up, that I also bet the game, that I went 2% first half, 2% for the game, and break up the risk. But the first half just seemed like so much stronger. And the handicap supported it even more so. So I said, instead of splitting it up, let's just stick with the first half over. Anything? Let me look and see if there's anything else in preseason. No. Let's look at college football because actually we made fire in college football. Again, NFL, we wait for the season. And let me already tell you, let's navigate week 1 right now. The week 1 NFL lines have been up for months. Okay? They've been scrutinized, bet into, analyzed since then, all the way till now, and then the closing number. Most value is extracted along the way. So I know everyone's gung-ho about week 1. Everyone's so excited about football being here. All the contests start, fantasy leagues, survivor contests, all that stuff. I know we're excited about it, but we're here to place good bets. And most of the week 1 good bets are gone. Most of the good numbers are gone. We personally have taken a couple of them ourselves, but we're going to be very cautious and selective in week 1, like we're doing in college football with week 0 and week 1, because everyone wants to dive in, but you got to remember, these numbers have been up the longest. That gives you the least amount of advantage, unlike overnights, unlike even week by week. The most advantageous is actually second week of NFL, third week of college football, because we've had very limited games, but a whole week to analyze them. And there's an overreaction to what was seen in one single game in college, sometimes 2 games. So keep that in mind, because I know you're going to want to be diving in, especially since we haven't had a good month and we want to recuperate. We're going to do it the right way. We're not going to dive in and gamble. We're not going to take bad numbers. We're going to wait for the bets to come to us. Wait for the trades to come to us. We have more than enough volume. You see that. There are days we have plenty of volume, more volume than you're probably even comfortable with. So when we don't, be okay with that and understand there's a reason for it. And with week 1 of NFL and week 0, week 1 of college football, the reason is obvious. These lines have been up and picked apart for months. And we're not into picking up scraps. We're going to find some inefficiencies because the public still hasn't gotten involved heavily. So once they get to the window, they're going to knock some lines out of whack, which will then offer us some value to get involved. But until then, we're being very selective. And it's fun to talk about and share the info, but be selective in what you part with your money. So I don't know if you have your sheets every week. You should have your sheet, or you should be pulling it up right now on an odd screen. You can go to the Wager Talk odd screen, because what I'm going to do is go through the entire card, top to bottom, real fast, and share with you every move that I've made so far for different groups. And that way, you have games that you could analyze between now and kickoff. Maybe you'll see that there's still some value in some. Maybe you'll want to still get down. But let's get that out there right now. Let's start off with today. Hold on. Make sure you guys ready for this, right? You ready for this? Hold on. Yes. Yes. Scalping is a very lucrative thing if you have the patience and the know-how. Scalp that gold, bro. Scalp anything you can scalp. Again, you're not risking if you're doing it right. Thank you, Pix. Thank you. Next time you're out here, hit me up. No, not yet on Namajunas. I was actually going to work on that card tonight. That's funny you said that. How would you manage the 5,000? Great question. Great question. Here's how I would manage the 5,000. Exactly like I'd manage the 10,000, but cut in half. If you don't have that discipline, please, please, please don't risk your money. As much as I love money and I love people signing up, I don't want anyone to make a mistake and lose money unnecessarily. So here's what I would do with a $5,000 bankroll. I would cut the 10,000 in half. So I'm betting 12 on a 1%. I'm betting $12.50, $25 on a 2%, $37.50 on a 3%, 50% on a $50 on a 4%, $62.50 on a 5%. If you could have that discipline, then you'll make money. And here's why. Because you're like, dude, $12.50 a unit? What the fuck are you talking about? What am I going to do with $12.50 a unit? Hold on, sorry, guy, 1 second. What am I going to do with $12.50 a unit? Here's what you're going to do with $12.50 a unit. $12.50 times about the 200 that we're up. It's up 2,500 on your 5,000. 2,500 bucks, and that's after losing 1,000. Like past this month, if this month didn't happen, if the last 30 days didn't happen, if you asked me this question 4 weeks ago with that $5,000, I would have been like, dude, you're already up 3,500 on that $5,000. Betting $12.50 a unit. That's it. And next season, guess what? Hopefully we have a good end of this year and we get you to where next year you're doing 10,000. Because guess what comes after 10? 20, then 40, then 50. Oh shit, you got a $100 bankroll. I don't need more than that. Betting between this, and that's good. That's where I'm at. Like I'm not looking to bet more. I'm comfortable betting between $1 and $5. I don't need more on a game. I don't need more risk than that. Like for what? There's so many other ventures also. Sure, I love this and I love the return I'm getting, but I also know the risk involved as well. I want to make sure that I'm diversified. That's what I want for you guys, man. I swear, like I want to see you use this as an investment vehicle to open other doors for yourself as well. So with a $5,000 bankroll, no problem. No problem. If you manage that bankroll correctly, like I said, you're up 50% from January until now. You're up 2,500. Or again, you can lock it into a nice treasury bond. Let's see, maybe you'll get 8%. Again, they're going to raise the rates again is what they're saying. So, you know what, maybe your banker's so generous, he's going to give you 9%. So you could put that in the bank and make, what, 450 bucks. Put that in a T-bill. Again, nothing wrong with that at all. Nothing wrong with that at all. But those are the choices. That's just reality. That's the truth. I know there's guys out there on social media telling you about the Bugattis and the flying private and all that nonsense. And they're showing you all these great videos of, I don't know why I would want to show you like that I'm a great sports bettor because I have a nice car, but I get it. I guess for some people that shows that. I see dudes like flying, putting up pictures of themselves that this is what makes them successful, that they're flying private or they got a nice watch or they have a nice car. They like, again, we're 2023. What are we doing? What are we doing? There's data. Just show the numbers. I don't need to see pictures. Just show me the results. Just document the results. Don't tell me this is what, just document to see the results. That's all. And then I could assume for myself how you're flying private and how you're jetting off the island, you know what I mean? And living the dream. Everyone's living the dream. Again, man, we like to keep it real, babe. We like to keep it real. All right. Let's Thank you. Thank you, Pix. All right. College football. You ready? Start it today, Saturday. The early game I told you went off. We had mixed action. Next, game 3. I'm going to give you all the stuff that I moved. And I'm going to let you know, obviously, what we're on. Here we go. All right. Game 302, New Mexico State, up to -7. The next game, 303, Florida Tech, La Tech, under 57.5. Keep that in the radar. We're actually possibly going to bet that in the next 20 minutes. I got some news right now that actually came across. The game right after that, San Jose, USC, over 65.5, also steam. 307, Ohio, +3.5, +3. Game 309, UTEP, pick, UTEP -1, UTEP -1.5, also UTEP money line. UTEP over 26.5 first half. UTEP over 52. Game 311, Hawaii +17.5. Game 311, Hawaii +17. Move on to next Thursday. Game 142, Central Florida -35. Central Florida -35.5. Central Florida -36. Under 58.5. Central Florida. Game 143, under 49. UConn. Game 145, 146, Minnesota -7, Nebraska +7. Two-sided wise guy action. I like the Nebraska side. The group that's been, I think, stronger in college, this is tell like it is also on the Nebraska side. But we also bet that before someone else came in on the Minnesota side. And I didn't see enough conflicting information to buy off it yet. So we're good with sitting on that Nebraska, especially since the 4% play. But we'll see how long we have time, and we have a little room to wiggle. The line didn't move against us. And finally, game 148, Utah -6.5 and under 48.5. You know we're on the under 48.5, and we will probably be getting into the Utah side, just waiting to see if that line climbs back down a little bit. Next, Friday, September 1st, game 151, Central Michigan +15 and under 49.5. Game 153, Louisville +8. And game 156, Hawaii +8.5. Now, like I said, I'm giving you everything. Some of these you may even see a play come out a week from now, even at a worse number than this, because the line's moving and more information came in that made it still strong, even at a higher number. So again, you bet it until it's no longer offering you value. A line move doesn't necessarily mean all the value's been extracted. Keep that in mind. Okay, Central Michigan. Okay, back to Louisville, and then Hawaii over Stanford. We're on the Hawaii side against Stanford. Now move on to Saturday. Saturday, September 2nd, week 1. Start off with 160, Michigan minus 35, Michigan minus 35.5, Michigan minus 36. Game 163, Arkansas State plus 35, 35.5. Game 167, Fresno State plus 5.5, Fresno State plus 5. Game 176, Virginia Tech minus 13.5, Virginia Tech minus 14, Virginia Tech minus 14.5, Virginia Tech minus 15. Game 179, North Carolina minus 2.5. Game 179, North Carolina minus 3. Game 182, Wisconsin minus 26. Wisconsin minus 26.5. Wisconsin minus 27. And Wisconsin minus 27.5. Game 185, Toledo plus 10. Game 185, Toledo plus 9.5. Also under 47.5 in that Toledo game. Next game 188, Colorado TCU under 59.5 and over 60. So different groups at bad numbers. It looks like one of those information changed. We're on the under on that 59.5. And let me see where that number is right now. Yeah, still 59.5. Okay. Yeah, see, because someone came back and bought back. It's going to, a lot of times, you know, we'll take a minus 2.5 and it gets to 3 or 3, oh, like Ohio, plus 3.5, it gets to 2. There's other times trying to get out early, the line won't move because it may move a little, then another group comes in the other way or the public comes in the other way. And sometimes the line will even move against you, where we lay minus 4 and it goes to 3. And it's like, shit, I could have waited. But you don't know that going in. If you could be right half the time, you're way ahead of the game. If you could be right 7 out of 10 times and which way the market's moving, you're in the top 1%. Like, trust me, if the lines are moving your way 7 out of 10 times and only against you 1 out of 10, you're doing really well. And that's for you guys on your own handicapping. Like, don't get discouraged just because a line moves against you on occasion. Because it's going to happen. It's going to happen for different reasons. Sometimes it's public money. Sometimes it's an injury. Sometimes it's the same group that wants to get off it for whatever reason. Sometimes it's a disagreement from another, you know, group or capper that also gets respect in the market. And finally, last but not least, we have another one too. Game 194, Colorado State plus 13, Colorado State plus 12.5, Colorado State plus 12. Game 219, South Alabama plus 7.5, South Alabama plus 7. Game 223, West Virginia minus 21, 21.5. Oh, plus 20. Plus 21, plus 20.5. And then Clemson Duke, we have over and under action there, two-way action. So as you can see, that was the college. Oh, hold on one sec. Let me see some baseball. Seattle Yankees. All done, guys. Okay. All right. So you got the college basketball, college football. The plays we're on, you guys already know. I don't need to go over them. You could even just look in your back end, I'm sure. There will be a handful more, obviously, between now and kickoff. But as you can see, staying selective, staying with mostly 3% plays. It's early in the season. As the season progresses and we acquire data, the groups you work with acquire data, the public is more involved, our edges will get nice, the money will come in, we'll be fine. So stay the course, stay grounded, and more importantly, stay patient. We don't have to keep firing and pick every game. You don't have to have action on every TV game. You know the normal shit I got to remind everyone of. Now, let me see what else did I have. Don't forget, Ace 3. So you could get discounts. You want that for sure. Oh, last few things. Let me get these notes out of the way because I always write some things throughout the Um, okay, we went over the math. I wanted to make sure I explained the math behind, even if you started and we're down 100 units, this is what you should be down. We went over all that math. Went over the math as far as where we stand for the year and what it means to do it the right way and what has resulted in doing it the right way. We went over how we're going to stay patient and how week one, college and NFL are different than any other week. We know that going in and we manage risk accordingly. Next. Also, I got a couple questions. Why, with this soccer, more soccer and tennis and NASCAR? Listen to me. Those are some of the sharpest moves you could bet. The reason the limits are lower. Some books won't even put numbers up on those sometime matchups. It's because they're where they're most vulnerable. And since we've struggled over the last 30 days, it's time to invest in those greatest edges. So when I saw that the groups that are moving the tennis, the soccer, the NASCAR have volume or are doing well, we're going to bet it too. I get it. You ain't watching it. It's not as exciting. I'm doing it to place good bets. And as you could see, you could tell by the results. And I don't handicap soccer or tennis or NASCAR. But if you look at the long-term results, you'll see why I continue to bet those sports. And again, also, someone asked why that CFL, we bet the money line and we didn't take the points. If we took the points, we would have cashed the ticket. Please listen to me carefully. I'm been able to profit the last 7 of 8 years, and I'm going to have to keep repeating that because this matters very much, and improve my lifestyle and my bankroll and my bet size and all those things by placing good bets, not focusing on what's going to cash me a ticket so I could then, sure, if I needed a win to then market the next day, I'd go safe, the safe route, take the points. But that wasn't the best bet. The best bet was the money line. The CFL group that I was working with, dude, they blasted the money line. They weren't even looking at the points. When they do something like that, I'm not, especially when then I saw how the line moved afterwards. It proved to me like they had some kind of really good information. Now, regardless, it didn't win. That's not how I'm going to grade it. I'm going to place the most advantageous bet. It's why I'll lay minus 230 instead of minus 1.5 if the minus 230 is the better bet. And also why I'll take plus 90 instead of the 1.5 run so I could chalk up a win if the plus 190 is the better bet. Even though the probabilities of cashing it are lesser, it's still the better bet. And here's what I mean by that real quickly. I offer you 2 bets. Me and you flip a coin. Heads, I give you $1. Tails, you give me $1. Right here, I roll the roulette wheel. You bet $1, I give you 50 to 1. That's the better bet. You're probably going to lose that one. This one, you got a better chance. You got a 50-50 chance. That one, you're probably going to lose. But that one's the better bet. So that's why on that night, you got the money line. Now, if you felt like you wanted to, bet the points, do it. Whatever you're comfortable with. Again, it's your money. I don't want to tell you how to manage exactly your money. All I can do is tell you how I'm managing mine, share with you past experiences of why I do it like this, and also results of what doing it like this has produced for me. After that, again, I wouldn't be, you want to take, if you cash that, God bless you. I hope you did. I swear I hope you did, and I'll take the loss. But I slept comfortable. I knew we placed the right bet. So remember, I get it. It's been tough these last 30 days. But please, please, please keep in mind where we stand. I know you're seeing hot streaks. I know, especially now with football, you're going to see more marketing than you've ever seen in your life. This is the money time for all pick sellers. You're going to see so much marketing. Any kind of streak that could be pushed will be promoted. And I know it's a fear of missing out. It's FOMO. It's FOMO. But ask yourself, where are they long term? If not even long term, where are they just in the last 6 months? And then remember, why are you doing this? Are you doing this to win this year? Are you doing this to win on your capital? Or do you have to just win today? Because I'll promise you, 9 out of 10 of those marketing that short-term streak aren't up on their capital. They're up on this streak. Those are two completely different things. You missed the streak already. You know that. That's gone. You're probably going to end up with the history, which is negative, or else you'd be seeing it. You'd be hearing it. That's what would be the promotion. This is what I'm up for the year, the last 5. It wouldn't be this is what I'm up for the last 3 weeks. So I want you to be cautious because I know you're out there and you're seeing it and hearing it and reading it. And I'm doing the exact same things, man. But remember, just ask that simple question. Let's zoom out and see how few reply to you. Just give it a test. I've done it before. You want to laugh? Try that. Just hit your favorite pick sellers and ask them if they could give you what they're up or down for 2023. And if they're kind enough to share 2022, and if they sold in 2021, can they do that too? And see how many replies you get. Just see how many replies you get. And come back next week and report to us. Just ask for that. Or even for 2020, since COVID. That's not that long since COVID. I'm sure if you've been selling picks since COVID, just share with us. 2020, 2021, 2022, and this year. See how far back they go. My bet is you won't get a reply, and pretty much not past this year. Okay. All right, let me see if there's any more questions. And this starts for real next week, the week after that. Next week, we're going to do it on Saturday for sure because it's going to be a shitload of college football, and I want you to see all the live stuff coming in. Like if we would have done this earlier, and we're going to do it earlier next week, you would have seen a couple things that came in that were like Division II, I guess it was, because I didn't even know those teams. But I'm going to share them with you guys here. And that's why I'm telling you, if you're scalpers, have your shit set up. The stuff that I give you, the line's going to move. Bet side A, wait 5 minutes, go into the other book, bet side B. You will set yourself up with some beautiful middles, some beautiful scalps with almost zero risk. You'll see. That's going to all begin with the football season. And like I said, we need to go two a weeks. I'm down. Oh, I'm glad he asked. Yeah, this is what my man asked. Stephen P. Perfect. Great question, sir. He says, I understand the 200 units is $1,250 to make 2,500, right? But how would that get someone to 10K bankroll when truly only 500 of that goes into my pocket? Okay. So you're saying you paid 2,000 for the entire year, right? If you've been with us from the beginning, so if you've been with me, I don't understand yet the question. Let me just try to get this down. So if you've been with me since up 200, you've been with me since the beginning of the year. We're saying to be up 200 units, you've been with me since January 1st. Since January 1st till today, you'd be up 2,500. So you paid 22,000 for the year's service. Okay. So you're only up a nickel on your 5,000. You're up 10%. Okay. After the last 30 days. Again, we're doing it the absolute worst time, but it's true. That's the truth. between now and the end of the year, I'm hoping that it goes up a little higher. It may not. Now, it may not. It may go down a little. Again, I just want to be truthful. If I had to bet, I'd make us a heavy favorite. It goes up, obviously. But I don't want to sit here and bullshit you like 99% will. So I'm going to tell you the truth. Let's say it doesn't. It doesn't at all. You made a nickel on your 5,000. Yep, you're not going to a $10,000 bankroll. It wasn't that kind of year. That's just how it is. Like, again, you could try to we do it again next year. Next year, maybe we make 1,000 or 50. Like, what I'm saying is that is the reality of sports betting, of any investment. And even there, if we did nothing, if I believe we were going to do better, but even there, if we had a 10% year overall, I don't know what your expectations are. If I bet all year and I come out and it was a bad year, like, again, for us to end up only that many units, it wasn't a great year. And it wasn't a great year. And I had a 10% on my capital on a bad year, I could live with that. Like, again, there's years in 2020 where we doubled or tripled up. That was just a ridiculous year. That's not always going to happen. But what I'm saying is that the goal is to rinse and repeat to get to then 10,000, get to 20,000, get to 50,000, get to 100,000. Along the way, sure, I did. I didn't lie. I told you guys. I sold houses. I bartended. I did what I could to add. Once I saw that capital was making me more money, I did what I could to add to my bankroll to make more money on that money. But if you're just going to make it from profit betting, you could do that too. But it's going to take you time. It's not going to come overnight. If you expect to double, triple, quadruple bankrolls betting sports, again, I do not want to disappoint you. It's not going to happen. That's just the truth. There'll be years it does, sure. Like I said, 2020, I think we tripled it, rolled it over. But that's not what I go into a year expecting, dude. I'm realistic. I'm old enough that I've lived in the real world where I know most good investments are in that 7 to 10% a year range. And if you could do that over and over again and compound those gains, you get wealthy. It happens pretty quickly. Like I was broke at 40, pretty much, close to it. Like what I had was my net worth in my pocket until I decided to do things the right way. And that changed everything. And sure, it takes time, but there's no other way, man. I wish I could tell you different. Again, you could gamble, you could try to gamble and risk, but that's not what I'm, trying to do. But I'm so glad you asked that question because that's exactly it. That's just the reality of it. And for some people, it's not worth it. Like they may say, you know what, it isn't worth it because a tough month like that, is it really worth it at the end? Even if I make 20%, then I highly urge you to look for other ventures and please come back and share them with us. Like if you find anything that pays 15, 20% a year, please, I'm down. I have capital. I want to invest it. I just don't know it. I keep looking for things. I said, real estate's done pretty good. Art's done pretty good. I don't have the patience with tenants and shit like that. That's why I don't really fuck with real estate much. I prefer more, I'm a trader, that kind of mentality. But yeah, I'm going to try to make as much as I can. And I hope off that 5,000. Oh, we got something in. Danielle, they're betting the over right now. If you look at Usyk and Du Bois over, they're betting it again. Du Bois is in the over. Wow. Just the over, excuse me. Here. And look at here's the screen lighting up right now. Right now. This is what you're going to see. Wow. Let's share this shit. You see that? You see that over? Boom, over. And now look, penny lit up, bet online over, 8.5 minus 25. Watch, this is gonna light up here. Give it a minute. This one lights up next, watch. Give it a couple minutes. See how slow they are? Right now, you guys would be getting it and betting it. Everyone would be getting this and betting it right now on them. Right now, we'd be firing away. Over, over, over. Look what they're betting it at, over 45. We got down to over 30. Ooh, what'd I say? Boom, 8 to 45. Then I tell you that one's going to light up next. This is what I do. That's the living, again, it's not a brag. It's just, this is what I do. I know who's moving the boxing. I know which books are going to light up first, which books are going to light up second. That's why these groups come to me with their sharp shit, because I could get it down without moving the screen. See, this guy just moved the whole screen. He just fucked up the whole screen. I told you he was going to do it. And this is what he's doing. He's ruining the screen for everybody. Good luck anyone else getting down. Now, the all-screen ones are probably going even higher. Good. Someone's going to come the other way now and take advantage of it. Good for them. Scalp the shit out of them. That's what they should be doing to them. Confuse them. Especially when they got 8.5s out there. But listen to me carefully. Please, 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 please. The only thing we're going to try to do here is place good bets. And when the dust settles, we're going to be holding. Oh, how was I? All right. When the dust settles, we're going to see how much we're up. I'm hoping we'll get to that. Where are we at? We're at 200. We have 4 months. Yeah, let's aim for 400. We aim for 400. We could get to 400 units. We could get to 400. 3% players. Oh, yeah. 60 positions. Let me see how many positions. Yeah, we get 350. Let's aim for 4. We've come up short, still a great year. Let's aim for 4. Is it okay to have online books? Yeah, I mean, listen, if that's what you have access to, they're fine. Just keep in mind, if you keep, as long as they're not limiting you yet or bothering you like that, have at it, because they're going to pay you. Those are the ones that you're sure you're going to get paid. You know what I mean? So yeah, they're fine. Again, the only issue is that sometimes when you're betting stuff like the stuff that I send out, some of that soccer stuff, some of that tennis stuff, even like this Usyk fight, like if you would have bet it minus 130 and they saw it went to minus 155 and did that a few times, they may give you some bullshit. But otherwise, you're pretty good. And especially if you said bet online, they're gold. I like Dave too over that. I don't know him personally, but I like how he runs his stuff. So yeah, you're good there. Oh, DK, MGM, I like that. Yeah, dude. Listen, especially since you're gonna get some square lines. The only problem is longevity isn't good at those books. So let me look one more time. In case we have any parting gifts on the bet. Damn, over 156 now. Holy shit, a penny. God damn. Okay, where you at? Yeah, let's pass on that. On that under in the Florida International and La Tech, we're going to pass on that. That was the only one I was looking to possibly go over. Let's leave that one alone. Let me look at NFL. Light NFL. Wow, Jacksonville's down to 6 at Circa. So you are getting some resistance. Definitely a lot of short money on Miami. Okay. All right, we got late baseball coming up. So in the next hour, you're going to be getting the 7 o'clock baseball. I know we got a handful of plays. Listen, all I could do is keep it real with you and tell you I'm doing everything in my power to end this cold streak and get us back to grinding Forget the hot streak. Let's get back to grinding and winning, and then the hot streaks come. Like when you're grinding away and you're winning, you look back and next thing you know, you're on a fucking heater. Um, that's got to happen. It's got to happen really soon. Like I said, I promise you, all I have is nothing but information. All our baseball, all our, like today, this is how many baseball groups I move for right now. That there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So I'm telling you, if it's winning stuff out there, it's coming through here. We have access to it. Like again, not a brag, it's just factual. So stay the course, hang in there. I promise you that there's always like the like they say, the dawn comes before the darkest night, right? Whatever. Again, English is my second language, but it's true. Like when things are tough, they test you. They test you. And right now we're all being tested. We truly are. And the fact that you're here on Saturday, it's been 2 hours, and you're fucking down to grind, I'm with it. And I promise you, I will keep working fucking my ass off for you, making sure we get to the finish line, fucking adding to the 200 units. And if I have to come twice a week throughout football and do it Saturday and Sunday to make sure you get as much valuable information, because again, I'm going to be sharing all the teasers in NFL nonstop. Real quickly, remember, the best day to bet teasers, the best time to bet teasers, towards the end. Towards the end. Now, I get it. You want to pick off some of the key numbers, but here's what teasers are: the opposite of straight bets. In teasers, you take advantage of efficient markets. In straight bets, we're looking for inefficient markets. To cash a teaser, you need the market to be efficient. You want it so that way it falls closest to the line. That's how you cash your ticket with a teaser. Unlike your regular bets. Your regular bets, you don't want efficiency. So on Sunday, that's why we need to do a live Sunday, because I'm not going to be able to give out 10 teasers on a subscription. People will be overwhelmed if I give out 20 teasers, but I'm going to show you some Sundays. Look, I'm placed, I ain't going to be 20. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but you'll see a bunch of teasers that I'm placing. Because again, I look for plus EV bets. I have a couple outs that give me minus 110 on 6-point teasers. I think one I have an even money one. I'm not sure. Definitely have a 110 ones. I'm going to bury those minus 110s with teasers. So we're going to go over again all the info on Sundays leading into game time, and on Saturdays all the college football as stuff's going on and as shit's going in. As stuff's coming through. But remember, it's not going to be a chat. I mean, it's going to be a chat. See how it's been so long. It's not going to be a show or a podcast or an organized, structured outline. We're going to be working. It's going to be a trading room floor. So get ready for that. I love you guys. Thank you again for all your continued support. Darkest, always darkest before the dawn. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. And I promise you, getting back to work. You're going to be getting plays in the next 90 minutes on tonight's baseball. I love you guys. I really do. I swear. I care so much about like you guys doing well. It kills me. It kills me that I know you've lost money with me the last 30 days. That hurts me more than my own. Like I hate that part of this, that I know you guys have lost money too. That's where I wish I could have had like a fund where then I know, okay, at least these guys are up with me long term. You know, like that's the part that kills me. That's why I beg you guys, and I spend so much time on the discipline part, because I want so badly for you to be able to profit from this info and not have it go to waste like I had it go to waste in the first part of my sports betting career. So have a great day. Thank you so much for all your support, always having my back, and for continuing to stay the course. I promise you, we will get to where we want to be, and it will get better. Trust me on that. It will get better. I love you guys. Have a great weekend. Stay safe. Enjoy the time with your family. I'll I'll see you guys next week. We'll be here for Saturday for sure. Have a good one.